Why are you speaking?
I think you've nicked me.
Fabrics? You get me red like that?
She's a legend in the fashion world. The Baroness, nicknamed the Devil. Elegant, cold. But who would have thought someone like her, standing at the top, would end up losing to a plain little assistant right by her side? That overlooked assistant? That was me. Name's Cruella. Some still remember what I was called as a kid. Estella, but that was a different me. The one who still hoped to fit in, to please everyone. The good girl. Ever since I can remember, my black and white hair made me stand out. In the worst way, people said I looked like a freak. At first, I tried to win them over. But when you realize your smile just gives them more reasons to push you around, you change. And I did. When it came to bullying, I fought back hard. I gave those kids a taste of their own medicine, and yeah, that landed me in the principal's office, but nothing really changed. The war between me and the bullies just kept going, and my file got thicker with every incident. Then one day, my mom got called in. The headmaster, all serious, told her I was expelled. I still remember her face, calm, almost unfazed, like she didn't care at all. To her, I never belonged in a place like that anyway. So we decided to head to London, take our chances. Before we left, Mom put on her nicest dress, the kind she only wore for special occasions. She said she was going to see an old friend, ask for some money, told me to stay in the car and be good. But you know me, I was never the be good type.
The moment I looked out, I saw this woman wearing a gown, a mix of fur and chiffon. I was dying to get a closer look. So I slipped out of the car, quiet as a shadow, and followed her. She walked into this grand, glittering hall, and I snuck in behind her, hiding under a serving cart. That's when I realized I'd walked straight into a fashion show. Oh God, in that moment, I saw the person I wanted to become. I thought this was it, the turning point in my life. And it was, just not the way I imagined.
My little dog suddenly darted out and got spotted. Next thing I knew, I was caught by the butler. Then the Baroness's spotted dogs came charging at me. I ran, panicking, climbed over a wall, and that's when I saw her, my mom, standing with that woman. What I didn't expect was that the dogs didn't chase me. They turned and went straight for her. Then she fell off the cliff.
It was me. It was my fault. If I hadn't left the car, if I hadn't snuck inside, if I hadn't caused that chaos, she'd still be alive. I didn't cry. Not then. I just knew I had to run. Get out of that grand, glittering hell. I ran with everything I had until I jumped onto that truck, until the city lights swallowed me whole. Later, I ended up at Regent's Park. The fountain Mum and I had promised to visit together. I walked up to it, and that's when I couldn't hold it in anymore. I broke down, crying like my whole world had fallen apart. Then I realized Mum's necklace was gone too. The last thing she ever gave me gone, just like her, like she'd vanished from my life completely. That night, I fell asleep by the fountain. No one came looking for me. No one came to comfort me. You'd never imagine fate playing out in such a ridiculous way. I woke up to find two scruffy boys standing next to me. I was still wondering if I should run with them or not, when suddenly I heard the cops shouting in the distance. No time to think. I took off with them, sprinting all the way to an old abandoned house. And just like that, I joined them. I didn't really have a choice.
10 years passed. I'd become a skilled thief, quick and slick. My hair was now a dull reddish brown, nothing that drew attention. On the bus, I lifted a man's wallet like it was nothing, dropped it on the floor, and my little dog swooped in, snatched it up, then slipped it into my friend Horace's umbrella, just like that. A perfect crime. All these years, I never gave up on my dream. I designed countless outfits, ones that helped us pull off jobs smoothly. I became the heart of our little crew, but deep down, that voice never went away. Is this really what I'm meant to be? Just a thief for the rest of my life. That's not who Mom wanted me to become. And honestly, it's not who I truly wanted to be either. On my birthday, Jasper handed me a job. A real one, at the most fashionable department store in the city. He said he always knew the way I looked at that display window wasn't like a thief. It was like a dreamer. I didn't say anything, just let the tears fall. I ran to the fountain and told Mom, I'm finally starting down the path we always dreamed of. But life loves to give you a piece of candy, then stomp your dreams into the ground. I showed up full of hope, only to be assigned as a janitor. No design work, just mopping floors, scrubbing toilets, cleaning up messes. Still, I kept my head down and did every task they gave me. Sometimes I'd offer ideas for the window displays, but the manager swatted them away like I was some annoying mosquito. That night I was exhausted. I found a few bottles of whiskey in his office. I hadn't broken the rules in a long time, but that night I did. Drunk and dizzy, I looked at the mannequin, and it was like she spoke to me. So I dressed her up, gave her something real, something that deserved to be in the center of the window. Next morning, I woke up to yelling. The manager lost it, said I was fired, said he'd call the cops. But you see, sometimes fate likes to mess with you, just for fun. The Baroness herself suddenly walked in, the biggest name in fashion. The manager instantly switched faces, ran over to kiss up to her. But then, the Baroness loved the window display I created, couldn't stop praising it. Right there on the spot, she handed me her card, told me to come work for her, starting tomorrow. I'd never seen the manager's face change so fast. I went home clutching that card, my heart pounding like it was about to burst. Finally, someone saw me, until I stepped into the Baroness's studio. That wasn't a workplace, it was a battlefield. Everyone moved with sharp precision, faces tight, like they were following some silent military command. And there I was, a street thief who'd clawed back a little dignity. Now standing among them, I told myself, this is where my dream begins. But after reviewing everyone's designs, the Baroness just shook her head. No explanation, no feedback, just cold, ruthless rejection. Days passed, and I started earning the Baroness's trust. From a rookie with nothing to my name, I became her right-hand woman. She let me in on more designs, took me to meet powerful people and socialites. That street thief in me was shaped into a sharp, shining nail. Pointy, but useful. Every night, back by the fountain, I'd whisper to Mom, we're getting closer to our dream. When I said those words, I was full of excitement and hope for the future, like I was already touching the edge of my dream, until I saw that necklace, the necklace that was lost 10 years ago, now hanging safe and sound around the Baroness's neck. It was my mother's last keepsake, but the Baroness brushed it off, casually saying,
She stole this, and then she fell off a cliff and died.
Fell to their death? My mind exploded. I finally understood. Mom's death wasn't an accident. Behind that accident, the Baroness was pulling the strings. I wasn't lost anymore. I knew exactly what I had to do. The black and white ball was the first performance I'd been waiting for. Just like before, I planned every step with precision, scoping out routes, timing, security gaps. But this time, I wasn't stealing gold or jewels. I was after the truth, justice, what was rightfully mine. That night, I stepped into the hall draped in a white cloak, like walking into a fate-bound blaze. Then I deliberately knocked over my champagne glass. The sharp crash of breaking glass snapped everyone's attention to me.
Do you have a light?
As the flames rose around me, the world fell silent. They watched me step out of the fire wearing a blazing red gown, my black and white hair stark against the flames.
I am fire. I am fury. I'm the one you all underestimated. Jasper and Horace broke into the safe in the chaos, only to find it empty. That's when I realized the necklace was never there. It was always on her, like a trophy she flaunted at the party. Fine, then I'd take it from her, with my own hands. I flipped the tray, sending rats scattering everywhere. While she lost control, I snatched the necklace, handed it to my most loyal little dog, and made my escape. But then, she blew her whistle.
That sharp, familiar whistle hit me like a thunderclap, shattering the dream I'd held on to for 10 years. I finally remembered that night. The same whistle, the same 3 dogs. They weren't drawn to me by chance. They came on the Baroness's orders. It was her who killed Mom, not fate, not an accident, her. The Baroness. I gripped the steering wheel tight, no time to think. We stumbled and raced back home, barely making it.
They say there are 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Well, I'd like to add one more: revenge.
I finally understood who I really am. By day, I'm Estella, the quiet, careful, unassuming assistant. But when night falls, Cruella rises from deep inside me. Bold, loud, impossible to ignore. Everyone looks up to her. Even the Baroness starts to get nervous.
Oh, Estella, I'm surprised at you holding out on me.
She stole my design? Ha! No way I'd let her get away with that. So I stepped out of a garbage truck, wearing a gown made from scrap fabric. Still elegant, still regal. The media went crazy over it, and for the first time, I saw fear flicker in her eyes. Then I prepared a gift for her, a dazzling gold evening dress covered head to toe in golden beads, luxurious yet understated, right up the Baroness's alley. She locked it away in the vault, ready to shine at the next night's gala. But at the grand finale of the gala, the vault door suddenly jammed. No matter what they tried, it wouldn't budge. The repairman was sweating bullets, using every trick he knew, and finally managed to open it. Then, out burst a swarm of moths, a black whirlwind pouring forth. The gorgeous golden gown was shredded in an instant. Those sparkling beads were actually disguised moth eggs. The moths tore through more than just the dress. They tore apart her arrogance. I thought revenge would be a thrilling victory until I saw Horace and Jasper tied up. My arrogance crumbled in a second. For their sake, I gave up. Let the Baroness burn every last one of my dreams to ash.
Goodbye, Cruella.
In the flames, I saw the satisfaction in her eyes. I struggled in despair, but slowly lost consciousness, finally slipping into darkness amid the roaring fire. But she forgot. I wasn't alone, and I wasn't the scared little girl who only knew how to cry. When I woke up, I was in an unfamiliar room. The old butler risked everything to pull me from the blaze and secretly hid me here. He handed me a necklace I knew well. As he gently touched the gem, a tiny key popped out. Seeing my shocked face, he sighed deeply and slowly revealed the truth from back then. I was the Baroness's daughter. When I was born, the butler was there too. Because I had that black and white hair from the start, the Baroness saw me as a bad omen, a freak. She ordered the butler to get rid of me in secret, but he couldn't go through with it. So he quietly gave me to the kindest maid in the Baron's house, Catherine, my foster mother. My whole world flipped upside down. Memories hit me like burning liquor, hot and tangled and overwhelming. I ran to the fountain, the place where I'd imagined talking to Mom 1,000 times. I wanted to tell her, I've been trying so hard to be the person you wanted me to be, but deep down, I carry the same ruthless blood as that cold woman. Still, I refuse to accept it. I won't become her. I drove a truck straight into the police station, broke my friends out, and we regrouped. Since she stole the spotlight at her own party, I decided to make sure she'd never shine again. I dressed every guest to look like me, turning the whole gala into Cruella's celebration. Hiding in the crowd, I snatched her whistle, taking back control once and for all. I dragged her to the cliff's edge, the very place she killed my mother 10 years ago. She loosened the dog's leashes, trying to repeat the attack by vicious dogs story. But the spotted dogs only obey the whistle's command. I held up the necklace, revealing my birth certificate.
Hello, Mother.
She tried to cry, to repent, to hug me. I played along like I was acting in a play until, unsurprisingly, she shoved me off the cliff. But this time, I was ready with a parachute. Every guest watched it all unfold. Her mask shattered completely, her lies, her crimes destroyed in an instant. And me? I stood back, watching as the police took her away. My real mother and I, finally it was truly over. I said goodbye to Estella at the funeral, burying that gentle, soft part of myself for good. From then on, the world would only know Cruella. I once thought about making a coat out of the spotted dog's fur. There was a moment I almost did. But in the end, I didn't. Because I refused to become as cruel as she was. She could destroy a life just to save face, but me? Even if I have to crawl through darkness, I'll protect that small, flickering light inside me. I'm Cruella, and I define who I am.